It's finals day at the EFRA 1/8 Off-Road Nitro Buggy Euros. We'll be bringing you coverage of the semis, the last chance qualifier and the all-important main final. Plus, we'll take a look at how the juniors get on, but the word we've heard the most this week has been Ongaro. Firstly, because he's the world champion, secondly, because the place is named after him, and thirdly, because he is the undisputed favourite.
Everyone's going to say Ongaro.
You got to go with Ongaro.
Ongaro, for sure. Yeah, for sure Ongaro.
But we've seen previously some other guys that had exactly the same conditions and they were not European champion at home.
He has also a lot of pressure because he's at home.
Yeah, you have some pressure for sure.
Nick, a lot of pressure on those young Italian shoulders. Has he dealt with it well?
Well, there's been no sign of problems or cracking. He had one bad run, but we're all allowed that during the day. Basically, he's just seemed totally confident at home, unsurprisingly, all weekend.
Behind Ongaro, Ricardo Burton has surprised. He must be quite happy at the moment.
Yeah, I think we are happy.
Boots has pushed.
I will be putting pressure on him for sure. If I can, I will.
And Ronefalk has been unlucky.
Only an Italian can, and oh, and now that's gone. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh no, it's just before the timing line. No.
Well, the semi-finals are sure to sort the men from the boys. Let's see how they get on.
And there is your grid. David Ongaro in 1. Elliot Boots not on 2, but he will be number 2. David Ronefalk in 3. Marco Barufalo 4. Juan Carlos Canas in 5. Brian Baldo in 6. Leonardo Valenti in 7, Tom Roban in 8, Oscar Baldo in 9, Jeremy Igon in 10, Yannick Igon in 11, and Burak Kilic in 12. And they're away. And it's a relatively clean start for everybody. Ongaro leads from Boots with Ronefalk in 3rd. So they've gone off in order. Top 6 bump up, remember. And a little bit of a nibble at the back of Ronefalk there by Marco Barufalo. But as it stands, they are all flying over the J-Concept jump for the first time, pretty much in order. Good quality racing, a little bit of a scuffling at the back as you'd expect, but the top 5, and there's a mistake in the middle by one of the and then Boots looks up the inside of Ongaro almost immediately. So Boots and Ongaro scrapping straight off. Ronefalk in 3rd, Barufalo in 4th, 5th is Juan Carlos Canas. Barufalo in 2, and then this pair is now dropping Canas in 5. He's very much on his own, in fact. And then coming through is Burak Kilic. Kilic now from 13th to 6th. Over the course of the first 3 laps. Fantastic performance by the German with the Turkish flag on his roof. And cement Ongaro in the lead. Second, third, and fourth. Oh, mistake by Barufalo, but not quite enough for now. Ronefalk might get it now. Ronefalk, he got a terrible landing and lost all drive. They may be 4-wheel drive, but as John Hindhoff says, you've got to have at least 2 of them touching the ground. And now Ronefalk's made a mistake and he's going to get snaffled up almost by Kilic. First 3 are in. First 4 are in, everyone's gone in at a 3rd distance. So, Barufalo has got a warning, but I think he suffered his own warning. I think Barufalo had a problem coming out of the pits and then dropped from 3rd to 6th. I don't know for certain because it was kind of like a concertina effect. He may have just lost the lead he had. So, 1 and 2 have gone across the line. We've got 3 of our RC superstars battling on the track here for 3rd, 4th and 5th in the semi-final. So, effectively, probably 6th, 8th and 10th on the grid, as a mistake by Canas led to taking out Barufalo and effectively giving Ronefalk a bit of a free pass. So 45.5 for another poor lap for Boots, and 47 and 46 for Ronefalk. So Valente, the young Italian, is currently in the final bump up slot, and behind him is the far more experienced car 6 of Brian Baldo, and then you've got Oscar Baldo behind him having a scrap with Burak Kilic. Kilic has got himself back into the next position as Baldo and Valente go down the bottom of the track and then they come through the useless bumps, and again is Baldo again gets up the inside. It's happened before. Is it on the inside? Now there's an accident. Valente's a big loser out of that one. The big winner, Burak Kilic. Seventh place man. Valenti's now back up in fight for seventh, but seventh is only seventh. It's not a bump up place. The bump up place is owned by Oscar Baldo. So it's not. It's owned by Brian Baldo. This is brother situation. It's a nightmare. Owned by Brian Baldo. So Ongaro has lapped everyone up to seventh. So unless Baldo makes a mistake now, Kilic's travails are in vain. He'll be going to the last chance race. And he's going to be asked to let Ongaro through, and that's probably going to just end the chance of anything, really. As Baldo has 2 or 3 corners to go. Oh, he stumbled there. And they're right together. Oh, he stumbled. Oh, he's going to get it. Oh, ooh! I have no idea. It's Baldo who got it. Baldo is scored as getting it, and he got it by 0.3 of a second. So, at the end of that, Ongaro is your winner. Elliot Boots is second, Ronald Falk third, Buffalo 4, Canas 5. 6th place is Baldo, and 7th Kilic. Kilic gave it a go in the last lap and missed it by, it says 0.4 of a second here. And it's an early lead for Ricardo as Burton gets away. It's 1 from 2, so in second it is Robert Bataille. Oh, blimey. So the third place man just rolled right over it. So bad news for Sanchez. He's dropped right out, so that means third now goes to Savoia. Burton already breaking away, but hasn't put in lap times quite yet comparable to Ongaro. But he is doing what he needs to do, which is win the race. Neil Cragg, car 7, isn't 7. Oh, and Sanchez makes a mistake. And suddenly another mistake and drops out 8 places. So now Cragg hits the position of 6th, the bump up place. Behind him is the 10. Everyone comes with fuel. So it's a fuel race between the 3 at the cusp of bumping up. Oh, and it's a Brivaldi's made a team has not done as good a job, and so Cragg and Robert have passed him, so they're now running in 5th and 6th, so without having to overtake anybody. Robert's got himself up into a bump-up position behind Neil Cragg and ahead of Marco Ravaglia. And there's a couple of Euros still to come as well, and there's an RCGP. So lots more. They both crashed. And hello, says Ravaglia, thank you very much. And Marco goes in, splits the atom. Nope, didn't quite happen. Ravaglia almost split the atom. Not quite sure what happened there. There's a lot of chuntering from the referee I can't hear. Oh, he's given Robert a stop go. What the hell was that for? That was well, I'm sorry. I don't see that one, but hey-ho, I'm not the ref. As Cragg makes a mistake and drops out the whole thing. So Cragg's made a huge mistake, right at the wrong place. 6 cars go past, and suddenly now, as Cragg drops out of 5th, he's dropped down to about 9th, but it means both Ravaglia and Battle are both in the bump-up slots. Ravaglia, I think, has now picked up the place, because there's an accident there for Montero. So Ravaglia in that green car at the front, I think now has gone back up into the bump-up position. Yep, he has. So let's stick with the green car. So Cragg now managed to get Montero off his back. And Montero went wide. So Cragg now chasing down the 6th place man, Marco Ravaglia, for the final automatic bump up. And they've got a few corners to go. Can Cragg get an automatic bump up into the A main? He was in there earlier, and he lost it through an accident, and it was going all right, and he just threw everything, and that's fine. You've got to go for it. He's thrown everything at it. He's going to be at the front of the last chance, either in first or second, so you have to go for it. And great performance by Ravaglia, giving his head there. You can still go horribly wrong for Ravaglia. I think it's unlikely. He's only got 3 corners to go. But Cragg went for it and gave us the result we required in a bit of spectacular, and Ravaglia gets it. Well done. So your 6 bump up, the 6 qualifiers straight into the main A final are Ricardo Burton, who ended up winning by 3 seconds from Ricardo Savoia, who himself was 8 seconds ahead of João Figueiredo in third. Figueiredo was 5 seconds ahead of Matteo Polito del Bello from Italy, the junior, and then he was ahead of a couple of seconds, actually at the end, he's only half a second ahead of Robert Bataille, and then Marco Ravaglia is your last man.
Right, almost time for the main final, but first, an even more important event. It's the main final of the future. let's find out how the juniors got involved. Wait, Carlos is coming. Carlos is coming.
Wait. Hey. But beware, the European title will be decided for the juniors, will be decided into the main final, because already we have 4 juniors into the absolute main final. So the future has already arrived.
We're living the future now. Let's watch how the future unfolds in the future, but which is now.
They're away. It looks like a relatively clean start from the front of the field. Leonardo Valente is striking and rather obvious Italian flag colours, leads, but now that third car cut the corner and has caused some chaos. I'm surprised the referee isn't always blathering on about something about it. So definitely the third car 5, I think it was. It just kind of fell off the side of the pointless bumps. So they come now back into the exit corner before they turn onto the step up and the step down. Valente makes a mistake, and so does the 2 car, and then rushing through is the 5. So overtiming and scoring, and up into the overhanging tree corner. Back now down to the flick-flacks in front of the main grandstand. It's Valente from Burton Kilic, and in third place, the 5 car of Pierre Raboulon. And suddenly, Kilic got a bit of an extra run out of the step up, step down, and gets a tiny bit of breathing space again. And this time it's fuel for both of them, so it's a fuel race. Kilic is picked up now. Valente picked up now. Kilic down now, Valente down now. So I say Valente gained a tiny amount there, but Valente almost cocked up the exit. So Valente ended up losing a few tenths because he got the exit wrong. And Kilic taking it very easy. He doesn't even triple the last one. He just double singled it. I don't need to do anything clever now. I just need to get round, hop up. Look, he's not even trying. Brilliant. That's very, very heads up driving by the man. All he needs to do is get over the line, and he does. And junior champion, or junior final winner, is Burton Kilic. Leonardo Valente did his best, but ends up second. Pecco Evening is third. Max Gotzels fourth. Theodore Marie is fifth. Pierre Raboulon sixth. Hampusberg is seventh.
We're about to go into the main final, and there's rain in the air, Nick.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't rain for a couple of reasons. Mainly because it'll interrupt the whole flow of the event, and also we have to take the cameras in.
Okay, so it might rain, it might not rain.
I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't think it's going to walk over Ongaro. I think many drivers have a chance, especially with precipitation in the air. Thank you so much to A-Main Hobbies, and thank you so much to Jay Constant. And most of all, thank you to the wonderful people at EFRA for inviting us to be here and making it possible financially. The nerves and the revs rise, and they stop, and they're away. Clean start at the front, which means Ongaro is out and off and away with Burton. Already a little bit of a gap for Ongaro. Burton second, Boots is third, fourth is Ronafalk, fifth is Savoy. They've gone off in race order. Coming back towards us now. Burton's caught up a little bit of the gap he'd lost initially to, had a mistake, and instantly Boots in trouble, and Boots will drop right out of contention there. So he's going to fight his way. He just went away the first lap. The mistake also made by the 6th car of Figueiredo. So fat lap 1 in the books, and it is Ongaro from Burton, from Ronafalk, from Savoia, from Barufalo, from Polito, and Boots dropped to 7th after early accident. They've kind of got away quite lightly with that. And already they're spreading out, and already Ongaro's disappearing off into the distance as we come round a lap in. All 13 cars pretty equidistant, actually. There's no real major gaps. Ongaro went past with a second lead, and now he's still got a second lead, or perhaps more. So Burton, I think, has to make a decision now. Does he want to be European champion? And if he does, he's going to have to start pushing and taking risks immediately, because you don't want to let David Ongaro get into any sort of rhythm. And Ongaro, I'm pretty sure, will take it easy for 4 or 5 laps and then push like he did in the semi-finals. So that lap round, he gained another 4 tenths, 45.1, fastest lap we've seen today, and I think possibly ever since it rained yesterday. Leader by 1.3 seconds. It is Ongaro in second. There he is, Ricardo Burton in third. And Burton's gained a little bit that time, so it's just a little scuffage there from Ongaro, lost a few tenths. Third place is Ronafalk, who can't really, it seems, stay with the first two at the moment. Then you have Savoia and then Barufalo, and I think Boots has got himself back into 6th. He lost a car already. And I think that is Matteo Di Polito. It's gone. Yep. So we're down a car. Very much bad luck for the young Italian. So at the end of that lap there, it was a slight gain back with 3/10 for Burton, who's not letting Ongaro get away. The gap is a second. There's a good battle also between Savoia, who's had a good weekend, and Ronnefout, and Boots now, Barufalo trying to catch those two up. So a little tiny gain again from the leader, but he's not pulling away as Ricardo Burton with the Kyosho is doing everything he can to keep. Oh, and it's upside down! And this is he got away with it. Well, that was a half luck, half bad luck. A mistake by Ongaro, but he ended up backing his wheels again. And sometimes you need luck. But now Ricardo Burton has the lead. Now he's got a chance. And Ronnefout can perhaps see blood as the first mistake was made there, and it was made by Ongaro. So Ongaro drops a second, Burton leads. Coming through the flick-flack in front of us now, in front of that packed grandstand. So the first 3 minutes have already produced a surprise. Ronnefout, can he bridge back towards Ongaro as Ongaro looks to get back towards Burton? Ricardo Burton, exceptionally popular Italian racer with a Kyosho, being chased down by your world champion. Never a European champion. Remember, Ongaro has never won the European Championship, even though he's a world champion. And Burton now has the pressure of being in the lead of a major championship race. Oh, he nearly lost that one there. Just dipped too much over the tiny triple. And almost immediately Ongaro is right on his tail. Don't forget, this is a 45-minute race, which means we're going to have pit stops and pit stop strategy. Ongaro's been stopping early. These new engines seem quite thirsty, but he's got the pace to make up for it. And as they come back round now with the 4 minutes in the box, and they're right together. Oh, a real tiny mistake by Burton, and suddenly into the lead goes Ongaro again. And spinning round on himself. And Ronnefout keeping a watching brief as suddenly, look at I think Ongaro just suddenly put a spurt on through the unnecessary bumps for this double, and then gapping Ricardo Burton. Perhaps he's decided now he can't play nice. He can't risk that small half mistake like he made earlier, costing him the lead. 1, 2 and 3 together. Ronnefout really hanging on to these two rather than racing them, I'd say. But good drivers will work themselves into it. Ronnefout now a little bit wide coming up the start, and there he lost some time there. Those, of course, 2 corners on the overhanging tree corner. So as they flick-flack underneath us again for the main straight, they are as close as they can be. 1, 2 and 3 down the main straight. 5 minutes gone. Now, within a minute and a half or so, we're going to start looking at fuel. 4th place, by the way, on his own is Barufalo. 5th, Baldo O'Brien. And then, another mistake from Ronnefout. Sorry, from Ongaro. He's got to 3rd, coming off the back of the... Well, I said they pointless bumps. They've caught out Ongaro. So now it's Burton from Ronnefout. From Ongaro. Oh, a mistake from Burton. So now Ronnefout completely out of the surprise leads. Another mistake again for Burton. So the top 2 now are... Well, as they have been so many times in the past few years, David Ronnefout and Davide Ongaro, they are your last 2 world champions. In 2016, the world championship was won, and there's raindrops falling on our heads. Raindrops are falling. So we've got big, fat raindrops falling. I don't know what we're going to do with rain-wise, but there's raindrops now coming, and Burton's dropped way off this. These first 2 now have a lead of something like 5 seconds over Ricardo Burton, but we have big, fat drops of rain. I don't know, this wasn't really expected. It's not going to affect the track at the moment, as in comes Ronnefout. Right behind him is Ongaro. Obviously, the referee has been incredibly strict during the whole of this meeting, so you've got to make a clean pass. They go up and over the overhanging tree corner, and already the drivers have dropped their pace a little bit. And you can smell the rain. We had smell-o-vision here. You can smell the rain. Best not to have smell-o-vision at Ongaro Ring because it gets quite fruity with the local fertilising. But these two have broken well away. Burton back 7 seconds after a couple of mistakes and leading a train of cars. But all eyes on the lead battle. Ronnefout, out of sorts all weekend, finally gets a chance to lead the race. And Ongaro knows he has to pass clean, and therefore he can't throw anything up the inside. The rain is just these big lots. I'm not sure if it's still falling or if it's stopped already. It's not going to affect anything until it gets a little bit more, and then it'll make the hard surfaces, for example here, and also going on the main straight wet. So Ronnefout leads. Ongaro second, and we have turned now nearly 7 minutes, so there's going to be some fuel stops soon. In fact, right now, in goes Ongaro. Fuel in, fuel down. Burton as well, and running longer, which is what happens. The Performer engine that Ronefalk has does seem to get better fuel mileage than the LRP driven by Ongaro. Who are we with at the moment? So we're staying with Ongaro, and what will happen is when Ronefalk comes in, we'll see how the staggers unwind, and obviously it's a possibility of this undercut now in clean air for Ongaro to actually overtake Ronefalk in the pit lane. Now, how many extra laps can Ronefalk run? If he runs one extra lap, it's not going to make a blind bit of difference. If he can run 2 extra laps, then possibly by the end of 45 minutes, no, it's 1 extra lap. I don't think that's going to save him a pit stop. Oh, and he's loused up the entry. So, when this happens, it comes up. It's going to be a lead again for Ongaro. It's not a massive lead, but a lead nonetheless. Ongaro takes the lead through a mistake on pit entry. Oh, Ongaro's made a mistake. This is so unlike either of these drivers. And Ronefalk's back in the lead again. So Ronefalk with the HB, with the Performer engine, in his famous yellow, gold, green and white colours. And then, of course, the often changing, but now concentrating more on a lot of the cars before go as silver. Now he's got a much more an orange base with his associated chassis. And they are right together. And we've had just shy of 9 minutes of the 45. And they're running. You get the impression, if Ongaro can get past, it's good night Vienna. But at the moment, Ongaro can't get past and stay rolling. And the rain is kind of stopping. Those big fat... the light is now starting again, so it's hard to tell. It's kind of blowing in from the side. So they go through the kink and down to the bottom of the road. Ongaro made a mistake there at flag corner 2 a while ago. And he's right up the side now and looking to get around. It's a long way round, and Ronefalk knows what he's doing. He knows how to drive. Third place is Fishy Renault Savoia, which is interesting because I thought it was Ricardo Burton. I think Savoia's running very long. Savoia does tend to run very long in his TLR car. So he's now dropped down into 6th and has stopped since the last timing and scoring incident. Ronefalk, car 4, leads again. And I think if I'd said that coming up to 10 minutes, Ronefalk would be leading, I think not many people would have taken that money. Second. Oh, look at the inside now, Ongaro. No. Now, interesting, Burton, after falling 9 seconds behind, is now just 5 seconds behind. And guess who's in 4th? It's Robert Bataille. Robert Bataille has got through the field as always, and he's in 4th. It really is. Talent rises to the top, and Robert running in 4th after 10 minutes. And he's just slightly hooked up, and he's now going to have single double it, and it is a chance for no. There's some very, very respectful, careful driving here because they know Mark Stinson's watching them, and he has been absolutely laser precise on the penalties. Looking up the inside, no. Another lap where they go around. They're going around a second slower than they could do, even with this dampness, or half a second. As these rain continues to, it's really weird. It's like not much rain, but each drop's massive. So it's lots of big globules. And I think the drivers at both these leaders are thinking, what can we do? And yep, 3 or 4 tenths gained back by Burton. I'm guessing the fastest man on the track at the moment is probably Battle. Yeah, he's not far off, Bataille's. But a little bit of a drive there as the wind picks up, which makes me think it might be more rain or just a nice cooling bit of breeze. And Ronefalk still leads 10.5 minutes in. So another lap will be in the books in a second. Ronefalk driving, precision driving. There's 2 absolute masters of this art. 2 world champions, 2016, Ronefalk in Vegas, 2018 in Perth, Western Australia, Davide Ongaro, and they are just showing us what it is to be a class act. Ronefalk driving precisely to prevent Ongaro getting past, not as fast as he can go. Ongaro knowing he has to look for a clean pass on what is a lot of this track, a one-line circuit. If you can control the understeer, then it's very, very hard to be overtaken as long as you line up all the jumps correctly, as long as you don't make any flamboyant mistakes, and you don't overshoot this step up. And absolutely perfect there from Ronefalk, but not qualified. These are not qualifying laps, these are race laps. These are precision laps. They're slightly slow, but they are designed to do exactly what is happening here. Ronefalk staying ahead of Ongaro. And Ongaro eventually might get a bit snappy as the rain comes down a bit harder again and try and get past. Very hard to take my eyes off these first 2 and look at gaps, and the gap is 4.5 seconds now from the leader to 3rd. and 6.8 seconds to Robert Bataille. So what they're doing is slightly slowing themselves down in relation to third and fourth. As looking left, looking right is Ongaro. Ronnefeldt in the Swede in the yellow, orange and green car 4. The poles to the car 1. Orange wing end plates, bit of silvery blue in the body shell is Davide Ongaro. And another lap where they are as close as you can possibly be without touching. Two completely different chassis, HB and Associated, completely different engines, the former and LRP, different electrics, I'm sure, different everything. But the same thing is that you have two exceptionally talented drivers as more umbrellas go up. More umbrellas go up. Looking down below, these fat rain, it's going to start affecting the concrete parts of the section, and then it's going to start affecting the rest. None of us really thought was going to be rain. It's got the crowd to move, and already turning is a bit harder. Just falling. And the rain is getting quite hard now. And down they go. So Ronnefeldt leads. Oh, a mistake from Ongaro. Ongaro's made again, he's got away with it. That's twice he's made a mistake there, but Barufalo getting really close to Ongaro. Let's switch our focus to Ongaro, because he's now going to try and get, how quickly can he catch back up again? As he goes across after losing a couple of seconds. What is the gap from Ronnefeldt to Ongaro? That is the question we need to answer. What is that gap? It's up to 2 seconds, but not very far now. As they're coming for their second stop, and the rain falls harder and harder and harder. And a petrol stop's been made. So back out and running again, and behind at the moment, Robert Bataille. So Ronnefeldt leads. I think at this part of the moment, as Ongaro now tries to get past Batten, they're going to start getting warnings about being careful about how they get in and what they do. So it's very, very slippy. This is what we didn't expect to happen, but it's throwing a fantastic variable. Robert Bataille, they're ahead of Ongaro. Ongaro looking to line it up, and then right behind him, as you see, is Burton. Still out on ahead, but with a stop to come is Ronnefeldt, as they just spin their wheels trying to get grip. There is the car of... And then the battle stopped. So it was at that point. Robert Bataille was in second. Ongaro was in third. Burton was fourth. But Battle had a pit stop. Burton's behind. Ongaro still hasn't... Ronnefeldt still hasn't stopped. So his lead, which is down at 8 seconds, is slightly false because it's got a stop in it. And the rain's falling harder and harder. I don't know what the rules are about stopping the races or carrying the races on, because... as we just are getting a little bit of wetness issues here. So forgive me for not commentating for a second. Let's try and prevent our camera getting soaked. Down the main straight again. So it's Ronnefeldt leading by about 8 seconds. Ricardo Burton and Ongaro are right together, as you can see them here as they go round the corner and to the bottom of the circuit, and they're coming back again quite soon. In they go. As the rain falls very hard indeed, and it gets more and more and more interesting, and we look in that. So, sorry, just thinking there was watery again, but now Ronnefeldt has stopped and they're all together. So Ronnefeldt is in the lead, second is Ongaro, third. All together as this rain has thrown another massive curveball into the works. As it comes down heavily. And the 3 cars go away from us on the triple. And come back towards us again. It's still Ronefelt leading by virtually no distance. This filthy weather. Ongaro, look up the inside. Can he make a move? Make it stick on the end? Oh, it's kind of. But the 3rd filthy car there. That is Burton. 1, 2, and 3 together. 1, 2, and 3. So it looks like we've got a slight issue on the timing. Sorry about that. I'll try and keep you up to date. It says the timing's locked a couple of minutes ago. So we do have the lead is Ronefelt. Ongaro is 2nd. 3rd is Buffalo. You can see the distance between them. So 3rd is Burton. You can see that. And we've lost timing, so I apologise for that. But that's part of the effect of the rain, I think. But visually, you can see where we are now. We have 18 minutes gone. So the leaders are all together, flick-flacking in front of us in filthy weather, though I think the rain is easing slightly now. So don't look at the timing, just look at the screen, because that's what's happening. The rain has disrupted the timing feed from the circuit, but don't worry about it. I can tell you what's going on, and you can see what's going on as Ongaro looks around the outside of Ronefalk. And Burton think, oh, he's going around the outside, I might go as well. 1, 2, and 3 together in the same frame. And again, up the inside, Ongaro can't quite drive. Ronefalk is driving one of the most controlled races I've ever seen. He's literally just staying within himself, knowing that he can block, and he's got a train of cars behind him. It's like the Truly train from F1 10 years ago, when Jarno Trulli used to qualify well and block everyone for hours. This must be a monumental act of concentration for the Swede as he holds back 2 Italian hot chargers. And just so you know, we got a timing back again. So that's good news. That's picked up. So these 3 are together at the bottom of the circuit. And the leader and 2nd have just gapped very slightly. Ricardo Burton as Ronefalk leads it. And just to worry them, we're not even halfway yet. We're not even 20 minutes of the 45. They've got another age of this thing to go. It's still rain. The rain's not really gone any harder. But it's done its damage now because the weather's blooming awful. And the cars are getting muddy, but 1, 2, and 3 away. 4th place car is Renault Savoia now, and he's 11 seconds back. The rumble in the background as they power down in kind of speedway style off that concrete. And Ronefalk again holds the lead for another lap. And we've just turned lap 25. Oh, up the outside again. I really think that Ongaro thinks he's got a chance going the outside of the pointless bumps. But the problem is he opens himself up a little bit to being attacked by Burton behind him. So Ronefalk, Ongaro, Burton and the rain. That's the big battle so far. We were promised a dry afternoon. Well, obviously Italian weather forecasts are as reliable as British weather forecasts. And this is what we've got. The 3 cars turn around. Burton does seem to lose a little bit sometimes. I think Ricardo in clean air perhaps isn't as quick as the other 2 at the moment. And don't forget, these cars have got tyres which are absolutely perfect for a dry day. And they're the right compound and everything. Not necessarily the tyres you would choose if it starts to rain. So Ronefalk still for another lap leads Ongaro by a metre. Let's be metric about it. And behind him, again, it's Burton. A metre back. So Burton did drop 9 seconds back during some problems, then caught back up this group again as they also kind of fell over each other. And you kind of wonder what's going through the minds of the people in 2nd and 3rd of Ongaro and Burton as they try and work out what they can do as they come another lap's complete, 26, and the rain is getting a little bit harder actually. It's not a thunderstorm, it's just a heavy shower. And James looks anxiously at the various areas where water could suddenly fall on all the equipment. So 2nd and 3rd go in the pits. So we've got the pits for 2nd and 3rd. We'll follow them out again. And a much better stop for... Oh, Ongaro's crashed on the exit. Ongaro's crashed on the exit. And he crashed into Burton. Ongaro crashed on the exit, lost a load of time. Now, that could be absolutely crucial. He's crashed on the exit. He's lost a load of time. and Ronefalk is probably 2 laps away from the stop. Who are we with at the moment? We're still with Ongaro. Let's move forward 1 car to the mess that is Ricardo Burton as we lost the 11 cars. So Burton now in second. He is the first target for Ongaro in these treacherous conditions. Ronefalk, of course, is a pit stop behind as he powers down. So the second and third have a pit stop to take. As rain again falls heavily. Ooh. Damn. So we apologise, you're getting a slightly spotty broadcast moment. The rain, heavy rain does interfere with the satellite. We're going to carry on going and see what we can do. So, don't worry, this has all been recorded, so we'll have the whole thing later. Ronefalk looking to do what he can do as the rain falls down heavier and heavier. And into the pits comes Ronefalk. So, and out the pits goes Ronefalk. So what is his true lead going to be? He leaves the pits now, and there's Ricardo Burton. So the car ahead of Burton, that is David Ronefalk. So Ronefalk comes towards us. Oh, and finally the mistake. Finally a mistake from Ronefalk, and that puts Burton into the lead. But Ronefalk is directly in front of Ongaro. But now Ricardo Burton leads. Let's see that one again. Absolutely. So look. So Ronefalk, just lost it in the air, rolled it, bang, and that was it. And into the lead goes Burton. So let's stay with second and third, but remember that out in front is Ricardo Burton. Oh, and a massive error from Ongaro. Ongaro, has he broken the car? No, let's see that one again. What happened there? Ongaro comes in to the kink and he just got a bad bounce somewhere. I mean, but that's going to cost him time he can ill afford to have. Now, we're with Ongaro, so Ongaro is in third. Burton now has a very comfortable lead with 20 minutes to go. Everyone's been warned about what to do. 20 minutes to go. Burton leads by 5 seconds. Ongaro is 3 seconds back from Ronefalk. My guess is he will catch up Ronefalk. I just think he's basically a bit quicker. And maybe gets into free air now after that error. Let's see what he can do. I've never seen a pit lane being swept for water before. As the treachery increases. 4th place is Renan Savoia. 5th place, well done, Burak Kilic. 6th place, Hal Figueiredo. We've lost Mattia Bellaporta, that's it. And Marco Rivalli is kind of off the pace as well. Gonçalves Canas not doing much either. This has to be a day when experience is going to count. I'll tell you something, Ricardo Burton is eking out a lead. Lap round for Ricardo. 47.3. There goes 48.1, 46.7. So yeah, fastest man on the track is very much Ongaro, who gained 1.4 seconds on Ronefalk in that last lap. His issue might well be, though, that he's got to get past Ronefalk before he can start attacking Burton in these last 20 minutes. Still all to play for. And what would probably help everyone now if it stopped raining. If the rain dropped off, then things would change dramatically. And now you can see just about in the same frame, indeed it is, Ongaro now getting right close to Ronefalk. So Ongaro and Ronefalk. Keeping it going. So Ongaro, as you can see, has gained. Ronefalk now is 4.7 seconds behind. So he gained. So and Ongaro getting closer all the time to Ronefalk. Coming over the doubles. Ronefalk kind of lost a bit of momentum again. So now we're back where we were before for about 35 of the laps of this race. In what is already going to go down one of the classic finals of all time, just because of the changing weather and the amazing closeness. The difference this time is it's not Ronefalk leading and Ongaro second, it's Ronefalk second and Ongaro third. And with Ricky Burton out in front and enjoying the experience. 48.1 Burton that time round, 47.9, 47.6. So Ricky's a couple of tenths off these two. As the sun does come out, I don't know if that means it stopped raining or not. I think it has. Yeah, rain is now easing back off again as the sun comes out. And Ongaro needs to catch up to Ronefalk. But Ronefalk obviously has taken a pleasant from the sun happening. It is still raining, but he's right back off the rain. Okay, so Ronefalk, another lap completed, and that lap was 2 tenths faster than Burton. Another lap, a slow lap time for Ongaro as he dropped off a little bit. So Ongaro, his dreams of a home win currently in the balance, and the balance being he's looking now for other drivers to have problems. And I think Burton has just stopped for fuel because he said he disappeared. So yeah, Ricardo Burton has stopped for fuel. So Burton now temporarily drops to third during the pit stop strategies. And he's right behind Ongaro. So Ongaro has the, well, not the leader, the guy is now in third. So it's Ronefalk leading, Ongaro second, Burton who stopped for fuel in third, and Ongaro is now getting a little bit kind of leery around some of the corners. So we open up, we'll be able to see, mistake from Ronefalk, and that's going to cost me a few seconds, and a problem, and, Ongaro! Is it Ongaro? Ongaro's gone! Is that Ongaro? It's so filthy I can't tell. That is indeed, Ongaro has flamed. Oh, no. The championship is wide open, but Ongaro will not be the champion. The weather has got to the hometown hero. They said it was water that could stop him. It was water that stopped him. Ongaro flames with, 15 minutes to go. Oh, desperate bad luck for the hometown boy, but this now means that the first two are Ricardo Burton and Dave Ronefalk. The problem for Ronefalk is that Burton is right behind him and has a pit stop in hand. So both of you should now be on David Ronefalk, who's leading this race and about to go over timing and scoring now, because he'll be coming in the pits the next couple of laps. So they go up and over the tree corner and come in the flick-flack now, right in front of the stand. The grandstand is subdued because Ongaro is out, but elated because Burton could still win. And I'll tell you what, I'm getting the impression that actually Ronefalk can drop a stop, because it's been a long time since we saw Burton in, and Ronefalk keeps going. Ongaro, I think, is back running again, but it's a bit pointless. He's lapping a bit back, but let's see how far he can get up. So Ronefalk leads. As the sun does come out and the rain eases right back to nothing. So when will Ronefalk stop? Another lap in the books, and he is now, that was a 48.2. What will Burton do behind him? A 49.4. So Burton's struggling a little bit. And this could give, even when he has to stop, which is going to be quite soon, it may mean that Ronefalk will stay in the lead. Ronefalk now stopping. So Ronefalk comes in, stops, down. Obviously he's in second now, but the question is he going to be able to do the actual race on one less stop? 15 minutes to go. Yeah, he should only have to stop once more, whereas I'm absolutely certain that Burton will have to stop twice. So Ronefalk behind, but ahead, if you can understand that, because on fuel strategy, he should be able to do it on one less stop. Running in third, it's Renault Savoia, not far back, but Renault Savoia, I think, actually may even now be running in second. That mess in front of, what's happened there? I thought Ronefalk had lost it. Just lost all drive. I'm not sure. Ronefalk looks quite unwell there. There's no grip. So Ronefalk has lost a bit of run there. That time for Ronefalk, including the pit stop, was a 54, so yes, slow. But in second now, just move forward one car, because that is second place Savoia. He goes to the pits. Let's take him through the pits, because we haven't seen much of Savoia. He's moved into second. Burak Kilic is a long way back. So 1, 2, and 3. It's Ronefalk, it's Burton, Ronefalk, and then Savoia. Savoia definitely only needs one more stop. And he's playing himself into this race like a wily old fox. Could Renault Savoia win a European Championship 9 years after he won the last one? He's looked good all weekend. We've been saying Renault. Quite possibly is it going to be Renault? Could Renault win it? He's got a bit of a distance to go. He's got Ongaro ahead of him, but Ongaro is a lap back, of course. Back up and running again now, seeing what he can get out of the day. And we're with Savoia in third. Leading is Burton. Second is Ronefalk. But Burton, we believe, has a lead of 3. We know he's got a lead of 3 seconds, but he may need to make an extra stop. In fact, I'm pretty certain he does need to make an extra stop. So Burton needs to find a lot of pace quickly if he is going to find himself as European champion. So let's pick up our leader. He's about to go over the tiny triple. Well, I hope that's him anyway. About to go over the tiny triple and now coming back on the exit jump. And now up and over. It's getting a little more difficult to identify the cars. They're covered in muck. And that is indeed Ricardo Burton with the Kyosho. Up, down, across the country. We now have just 12 minutes to go of what must seem like 7 hours of racing these drivers with ever-changing conditions. It will dry quite quickly with the sun on it. After that shower, changed the complexion of the entire event. Again, a man who won't be European champion is our world champion, David Ongaro. He's still running, and he's running in 9th. So there's a chance of getting further forward. He is TQ for the 2nd year in a row. And the 2nd year in a row, things have conspired against him. So Burton moving away into the A main corner. He leads by 3 seconds from Ronefalk and by 7 seconds from Savoia. Savoia probably just needs to find a little bit of extra pace, and he can still get. He might even get second. And there's a problem for Ronefalk because his car sounds a bit odd. I don't think he's just got tyre grip issues. I mean, the tyres shouldn't wear when they're wet. They actually stop the tyre wear issues entirely. 11 minutes to go. I'm expecting a stop for Burton, for Ricardo Burton pretty soon. He leads by 3 seconds exactly after losing about 400ths in the last one. Slightly slower and dropping off with Savoia there, which is disappointing for a Savoia fan. So Ricky comes up to complete another lap. Very popular young Italian driver. Can he crown his career? Well, not crown it because he's got a lot to go. Can he raise his career at the European Championship? Or will we see Ronefalk pick up a 3rd European Championship? Or will we see Savoia pick a 4th European Championship? Okay, pit stop time. Need to take this incredibly carefully. Pray you don't flame. The OS Speed engine is refueled. All very careful. Ronefalk moves back into the lead. And they splash out of the paddles. Puddles. Now, has he stayed out ahead of Savoia? And I think he has. So it's very hard to tell because they're all just lumps of mud going around. What I can tell you is our leader is now Ronefalk. Ronefalk, I think this is the actual gap because I think both of them have to stop once more with 10 minutes to go. Obviously, Burton must stop once more. I think Ronefalk needs to stop once more as well. So Burton is still in 2nd. 3rd place is Savoia. Savoia also only has to stop once more. So everyone has got one more stop. So this is actually where it should be. This is the actual train. So we have a 3-second lead for Ronefalk. Seconds between Burton and Savoia. And we're with the middleman at the moment, Ricardo Burton, as he tries to bring down that gap, which is the real gap, with all them with one stop to make. And we consider the remarkable fact that may happen in just 9 minutes' time that David Ronefalk is going to win the European Championship when he seemed completely out of sorts and completely out of luck the entire weekend. It's another problem in a long final after the issues which beset Ongaro at DXR when he ran out of tyres. This time he's run out of, he hadn't run out of fuel, he just stopped. Have we lost Ongaro again, I think? Yeah, Ongaro's had a second breakdown, so that's it. So Ongaro will retire from the event now. Burton, 8 minutes to go. The gap is 4 seconds, and that is going the wrong way. So Ronefalk measuring himself beautifully at the moment. Savoia, just 2 seconds behind Burton. It's quite a long 2 seconds, that makes sense. I actually can't tell which car is which anymore. Where is Ronefalk? I'm trying to see which is Ronefalk's car even. Well, there's Burton, so Ronefalk must be somewhere up there. So Burton, another lap. Okay, let's see if we can pick up Ronefalk, who's just coming over the I think it's him coming over the J-Concepts jump now and towards us. I'm pretty sure that is Ronefalk. I'm now trying to identify by shape of body and distance they are apart, because all the cars are brown. That's the colour they are. That's not Ronefalk, that's not him, got it wrong. Sorry, that's not Ronefalk, that is somebody else entirely. This is where it gets tricky. Right, the pits has gone Ronefalk. So that is him now, out the pits. So Ronefalk just caught the end of the pit stop there. As the grubbiness continues, and that should put Ricardo Burton in the... I can't see Burton either, it's just mud everywhere. Very difficult at this point to actually tell car from car, but that is Burton crossing the line. Where is Ronefalk? Now you're on Burton, that's car 2. So Ronefalk... Oh, right, Ronefalk is right behind Burton, that's why. Thank you very much, everyone. I'm working where I am. So Burton and Ronefalk are together. I do apologise, with no ability to read the cards or see the numbers. Got a bit lost there, but it is Burton coming off the end of the pointless bumps and Ronefalk driving away. Now, Ronefalk does have this pit stop in hand, so it's pretty bad news for Ricardo Burton, because whilst he's leading now, he isn't going to be leading in a couple of minutes' time when the final pit stops happen. So Ronefalk, whose brown car is in the lead, with the other brown cars elsewhere. Third place Savoya, 5 seconds behind, so it's a 2-second lead that Burton has, and he needs at least 4.5 to be in with a chance. They spin around and wait for the last 5 minutes. I'm not sure how late Burton will go in, but he needs to find some real pace over the next 2 or 3 laps. He needs, basically now, someone needs to say, Ricky, push, that's it. There's no point worrying about it. You're either going to be European champion or not bother finishing. And what you need to do is go as quickly as you can for the next 3 or 4 laps. But let's pick up Burton one car further forward and turning now into the step up, step down. He's had quite a good lap, I think, prior to this point. I think he has gone and pulled the lead slightly on. So he comes around, 45.7. Fantastic lap from Burton there. And it's a 47.2. So that's what he needs to do. 2 more of these, and he might have got himself far enough ahead. But a 45.7 in these conditions is a marvellous. So Burton suddenly has pulled the pin in an attempt to build up enough of a gap to get this pit stop he's lost back. Well, he hasn't lost, he's just used more fuel. He had to stop more often. I mean, back to one of these fantastic long-range Nitro battles where you've got different strategies playing out. And then we have the thing that always makes the race special, the weather. And how much weather we had? A lot. As much weather, really, as you could throw a stick at. So, has he managed to pull out more of a gap now on Ronefalk? This lap round, it is Burton 46.7. Ronefalk goes round in 46.8, so only a tenth that time. A tenth of a second for Ronefalk in the game there. Right, okay, Burton comes in for his final stop. Slight fumble, Ronefalk goes past, so Burton we've dropped down, and they're going to be a lot closer than they were. They're going to be about 1.5 seconds. So stick with Burton, because he's got to try and catch up Ronefalk. This is the race to the finish now with 4 minutes and 4 seconds to go. Oh, and they're touchy. They're not involved, are they? That's somebody else, I think, yeah. So he's given a stop-go penalty to that driver for getting in the way of the leader. So in the middle car is Burton. Burton now about to turn up the step-up. He's got the filthy, disgusting, lovely man, but filthy, disgusting car of Ronefalk ahead of him, and they are right together. The gap between them is 1.1 second as we come to the end of this 45-minute epic race. 3 minutes to go. Oh, and Ronefalk makes a mistake, but gets away with it. So they're right together. Burton now has a chance to drive past me to go through the kink, and these two cars, dirty though they are, we know who they are. It's Ronefalk, it's Burton. We've got 3 minutes for the European Championship. It's not about Ongara anymore. It's entirely about these two racers, double European champion and world champion, David Runnerfalk leading by 4 car lengths from up-and-coming superstar Ricardo Burton, who's won 2 rounds of qualifying. He's got him, block pass! Got him through! But now it's the chaser becomes the chased. Can he carry on going? Runnerfalk, Burton has looked quicker in these drying surfaces. Can Runnerfalk now at the inside. Burton gets a sprint. At this point, there's no point being quiet and coy about it. Runnerfalk's got to push. But is it going to be too little? As the lead is 6/10 of a second. The crowd goes absolutely crazy, but they're still nailed together with 2.5 minutes to go. Down the main straight, through the kink. Well, obviously we can review that incident at the end of the race, but it's still too close. Great pass there. Everyone's watching them. Runnerfalk now can stop being the hunted and become the hunter. Stop looking at driving lines because he knows it doesn't really, second doesn't count. It's European Championship or nothing as another car fails. The 9 car has stopped, and that's Robert Bataille, I'm afraid, and then up in the air was Runnerfalk, and he falls a bit further back behind the car of Ricardo Burton. And we are down to 2 minutes and 6 seconds. And somewhere, the 4 car of Swede, David Runnerfalk, has to catch up the 2.5 or so. He is behind Burton. Burton makes a tiny mistake there as they flick-flack in front of us. Ricardo Burton trying to get the dry. The track's already drying out from the wet. This is the 3rd different condition they've had. They've had wet, they've had dry, and they've now had drying. Drying does seem to favour Burton, and he's trying to pull away. Last time round he picked up a 2nd, and he's got a little gap from Runnerfalk. As they come over the triple, Burton just has to keep it straight. I'm sure you're seeing in the background there is Runnerfalk. The car's almost cleaning up as well, actually, as they carry on going. So the 2 car, Burton, he has 1 minute and 16 to go, which means they have this lap and 1 more. So it's 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go. Can Ricardo Burton hold back World and European champion David Runnerfalk? Will Ricardo Burton keep the bring the championship back to Italy for the first time in many a year? Or can the Super Swede find the luck, the speed, the endurance to get through? So, a lap and a half to go, 1.5 seconds behind. Now Runnerfalk, Marshall's distracted them, but he's getting closer again. And they're now both, I'm sure, in the same frame as we come to the end of 45 minutes, and we're about to start the last lap with the 2 cars right together. Will the magnanimity of what's about to achieve affect Burton on this last lap? There's some annoying traffic as well, and they're coming together. They come round for the last time in front of the grandstand, giving a real cheer for Ricardo Burton. But there's plenty of people cheering on Runnerfalk at the home as he got another gain. You can see the visual difference between the 2 cars. A car brakes very well, stops entirely and doesn't get involved. They're over the last time for the flag corner 2, up and down the useless bumps. Burton now just needs to keep it on the island, but it's more easily said than done when the pressure of the world and the chance of a European Championship is on your shoulders. Runnerfalk coming up behind him. Can he do it? Can Runnerfalk just throw it? Caution to the wind. He's getting so close. They are right behind each other. Runnerfalk's got 2 corners to do it. Can he do it in the step up, step down? It's going to be difficult. Burton turns around. Burton's going to get it. Burton comes around. Burton is good. Burton is the European champion. What a result. What a race. You will never see a better race than that in mixed conditions. A fantastic race right to the end. Ricardo Burton, a well-earned champion. A brilliant drive from David Runnerfalk. No luck for Ongaro. That's what RC Racing is about. That's why we love it.
Nick, I mean, we thought we had a good final in Montbrison last weekend. I mean, this was stunning. Mind blown. And as you can see, the rain is coming down heavy again behind us. That's why we're in this slightly strange lean-to shack. But it does the job, and hopefully you can hear us. What a race.
Voice virtually gone. Amazing, 45 minutes of pure action, nothing we expected to happen, including the rain, including Ongaro being in 3rd, then flaming out, and then Burton coming from 9 seconds back to the lead, the mixture of fuel strategies. Runnerfalk had been completely off the pace the entire weekend, suddenly being up there, couldn't predict anything, bit of Savoia, we had a little bit of Savoia, then we had a junior coming in 3rd with Birkin Kilic. Amazing.
Let's hear from the 3 top podium winners now.
Ricardo Burton, European champion. How does that sound?
Yeah, it's amazing. I feel really happy. It was an hard race, different condition.
Yeah, at the start I made some mistakes, but I keep on my pace, try to... I know we were doing one more stop, but but I'm really happy for sure. Car was great, so yeah, I'm happy.
We had wet, we had dry, and we had drying. Which was your favourite condition?
I think dry at the end it was good. I think I was quite fast. Yeah, wet was really hard. When we get out from the line it was really bad. But yeah, I am happy. I didn't think about it when I saw David doing one less stop than me, but yeah, I keep on my pace and try to do my best, and yeah, I win. That's great.
So when you woke up this morning, did you think you'd be European champion today?
Honestly, no. Only when I pass the transponder, I realize it, and yeah, I'm really happy for sure.
Ricardo, well done, congratulations, well done, mate. Thank you indeed. I don't know how to sum up that 45-minute final. How do you sum it up? Happy, sad, disappointed, elated? What is it?
No, I mean I'm pretty pleased. Obviously I wanted that win. It was close, 4/10 or something in the end. Leading most part of the race, I felt very good. Felt very comfortable out having them behind me. My car was doing exactly what I wanted it to do, so it was just a very good drive by Ricky. Well-deserved win to him. He pulled off a great move there towards the end. I just missed my line by not even a car width, I think, and he put his car there. So it was a good move for sure. I'm pretty pleased. I think I was lacking a little bit of speed there the last 10 minutes when the track, went from wet to dry to even dry and slick again. So with all the changing condition out there, it was very difficult for every one of us. And I think I drove a very strong race, one of my better finals in the last few races. And in the end, I'm going to be pretty pleased, even though it was very close.
Burton, that must be a dream come true, that race.
Yeah, it was my first AMA and I finished third from the 13 on the grid. It was very good.
What was it like driving through those different conditions? And
so at first I had nothing grip. When it's dry, my pace was so bad, and after it's raining, I'm going to be faster. The other guys was going to be slower, but we finished third. We are all happy.
Well, there we have it. I think it's one of those podiums where pretty much everyone's quite happy to be there because the one person we thought was going to be there isn't there.
Yes, that makes no sense, but it's correct.
It's correct. Which was your favourite performing car out of the brown cars? The brown car or the brown car?
Certainly for 2 or 3 laps I had no idea which brown car was which and was constantly looking at the wrong brown car. In the end I kind of worked out they're like doing body shapes, and then interesting, I'd never seen a race like this before. When it began to dry up again, the cars got cleaner.
They did start to clean themselves, which is quite good. Fantastic quality of driving, actually.
Oh no, it really was. The whole day we saw really good driving, very little interference from the referee, and the final itself, a lot of old favourites in there. For a bit, all the European champions were up and around, but the one person who's not a European champion at the start is a European champion now. Ricardo Burton, it belongs to him. Fantastic performance all weekend from the young Italian.
A troubling day for weather, but an amazing day for racing.
Oh, again, I don't know, is that the best race ever? Does that beat 2010 World Championship?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
You just have weather and it gets better, and you never knew in the last lap. I'm going to say best 1/8 race, Nitro race ever.
Can we beat it with 10th scale electric off-road next week from Pinerolo? Who knows?
We get 6A finals over 2 competitions over 5 days, 6 days of broadcasting.
There's only one way to find out, and that's to tune in and keep tuning in to rcracing.tv and EFRA.ws. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on YouTube. Stay tuned to the EFRA Summer of European Championship Racing action, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.